So, David Clarke, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and your background and what led you to write this course on GDPR?
Thank you, Penny. I have a background in doing global cybersecurity and global compliance for FTSE 500 companies across the world. Delivering compliance and accountability is kind of a major component of GDPR, and one half of GDPR is managing breach, cybersecurity generally, and the other half is data rights deliverables, which is kind of managing what you do with the data.
So can you tell us a little bit about what actually is GDPR?
GDPR is the General Data Protection Regulation, which is the largest data protection regulation in the world, covers 750 million people. Although it's primarily aimed at Europe, because of the interaction of global trade, it's pretty much affecting almost every business in the world, especially businesses that trade between countries. Without the data regulation being in place, it's going to be difficult for businesses to do that.
Why is data protection so important?
It's important for two reasons. One is we're seeing data breaches every day announced in the news, which kind of infers that companies are not necessarily looking after our data appropriately. And the other one is potentially exploitation of the data subject's data. We no longer own personal data. It's kind of in our care, and we have to do the best we can for the data subject, look after it, use it appropriately, and make sure we have the right permissions to do that.
So tell us a little bit about this course and how it came about and what people are likely to get out of it.
Yeah, good question, Penny. It came about talking to many clients that what we found is when we're doing initial assessments and gap analysis, there was a potential kind of lack of knowledge of what data protection really is. And what we've done is actually try to compile much of the information and the questions we've asked to give companies and their staff a good understanding of what data protection is. So that will enable them to focus their business in the right areas and ask the right questions.
What is the best way for a company to become GDPR aligned?
Generally, the best way is look at what you've got already, do your data discovery, do an assessment, do a gap assessment, and then from there, it will then fall out, what technology, if any, is needed and how to deliver accountability.
And following this course, where else can the person get good guidance?
Probably the best one in the UK is the Information and Commissioner's Office website. It has some really good information there, good interpretation of what effectively is quite complex legislation. And obviously, from myself, you can find me on social media.
Thank you, David.
Thank you.